line and it's looking wonky, give us just a minute and it should do better. Thank you.
I do look frozen on my phone. Yeah. We'll be fine. These things happen. If this is the worst thing that happens tonight, you're doing okay. Right, Tim? Yep. Yep. Yeah, I see the slides on my phone. Oh, yeah. Somebody says from Anchorage, hello, the stream is acting up. So we do have Anchorage folks tuning in, too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We've got something going.
Yeah, someone said they are working on it. Thank you, Lara Martin, whoever that is.
She's helping us out.
Good.
Okay, it's live. It's on a different link. So
You want to text me the link?
yep, I'm going to send you the link right now.
Should I announce that link when I come back? Well,
And then we'll.
how would they know I'm saying it if they're not tuned in?
They won't know you're
That
saying
makes
it
a lot of
unless
sense,
they
Jim.
went with us to the new stream.
I know you can't hear me, but still, I want you to go to this link. So will I need to change links on my phone to get to something new?
Correct.
Oh, boy. All right. Feed. We are going to put in the comments another link to go to. So if you could please click on that link when it appears. We are trying very hard to get you caught up so you can join us again. I was just informed you heard everything I said, but that wasn't so bad. I was Okay, so Priscilla, if you can hear me, throw me a hello on the new, I want to make sure they can hear me on the new feed that we just updated. Priscilla, if you're there, just throw me hello. That's Sarah. But I want to make sure they can hear me. Oh, okay, I see me now on the feed. So am I live? We're good. Well, you missed the whole thing, folks. We're done. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right. Okay, there's Priscilla saying, hello, I'm here. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back to our virtual fundraiser. And it wouldn't be a virtual fundraiser if we didn't have any virtual glitches. So I want to thank the team that's here. They brought us right back online. Many of you who are participating tonight have a box in your possession. If you have not opened that box, please open it now, because you'll see some treats inside. But I guess the QR really wouldn't be applicable right now, would it? So it would be applicable. Okay. So inside, you'll see a little tiny square, and it's got a QR code on it. So please click on that so you can help us. So if you have your box, please open it, enjoy the goodies inside, and please use the QR code. And you'll also see something here called Broken Not Dead. You'll find out more about that shortly. Very important card. And you'll be hearing from the gentleman on the back here shortly. Okay, I think we covered most of this a little bit earlier, but we have some stuff to catch up to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a door prize drawing. And I'm going to do that from the folks' name that are in the comments. So I'm going to give Katrina Howe the first door prize. She's the first name I went to, so Katrina's here. So she's going to pick from one of our gift bags. Thank you very much, Katrina. And now it's my honor and my pleasure to bring up somebody who's very special to this organization. And we're going to bring up Sarah Hertzberg, because she is our executive director currently. And I'll be inviting the board up in just a moment, but I'd like to tell you a little bit about Sarah, if I could. Sarah Hertzberg first joined the FYNDout free clinic under the leadership of the late director, Pam Balster, in 2015. Pam recruited Sarah as the SRA program director. She passionately invested her time in kids throughout Fairbanks and North Pole middle schools and the middle schools and high schools. She taught the importance of sexual risk avoidance and healthy relationships. Very important information. When Pam passed away in 2017, Sarah was selected by the board to fill the position of executive director. Sarah led the FYNDout Clinic through several years filled with many accomplishments and challenges too. In 2018, the center received a matching grant and fundraised to receive a new ultrasound machine, as well as a sonography certification for the medical staff. In 2019, Sarah led FYNDout through a marketing rebranding that has benefited the center greatly as we seek to serve clients in our target area, in our target demographic. In 2020, Sarah led the center through the navigation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Anybody who's led through the last 2 years knows how difficult it is. And by the grace of God and by the support of our donors, the center stayed open and served clients facing uncertain futures and heightened pressure to choose abortion. Remember, tonight we're talking about choices, love, and life. In 2021, the center underwent a digital transformation with paperless client visits to allow more face-to-face time with clients who visit the FYNDout Free. Over the years, Sarah has continued to follow where the Lord has called her. Her next calling is one that will surely be great for her and reap great rewards in this life and the next. She will embark on a journey of homeschooling her 2 children and investing time in her family at home. And we're so excited for her, and we're grateful for her obedience towards the Lord and faithfulness to his call. And we all know that because it's God's plan, It's always God's plan, right? We always think we can do better. It's God's plan. We know there's great things ahead. So, Sarah, I'd like to welcome up, I think Tim is here from the Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome up Sarah because she'd like to say a few words too. And just so I could acknowledge the board members, they are Tim Dovell, Marta Connor, Jeremiah Nemeth, Leah Mackey, Joe Bob Howard, Judy Dellinger, who is here, and Joe Grimes, who cannot be here tonight. So I'll pass the microphone over to Tim Dovell. You want to? Yeah, all the board. Yeah, if you're on the board, please come up. Yeah, I should have said everybody. Bring that board. Tim?
Thank you, Jim. Sarah? I'll wait for Well, the board has enjoyed your service for the last 4 years. And I'm speaking for myself, I've always been amazed at your energy and your dedication, and worried that you're overworking yourself, but you just kept pushing forward. And also your compassion for your clients. But anyway, the board wanted to put something together for you to thank you, show, recognize our appreciation for your service. So Leah's got a basket from Great Harvest Bakery. Yeah. No. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you very much. So, and I'm going to hand the microphone over to you if you wanted to have a few words to say.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Oh, my goodness. You guys are so great. I'm going to put these down because I need to talk with my hands. Hold on. All right. Well, hi, everyone in the room with me and at home. Man, I'm so used to being able to look out over all of your lovely faces, so I'm just going to envision them in front of me and be talking to you here. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much to the board, to all of our donors, to the staff that's here in the room, and our volunteers who, of course, make everything that we do possible on a daily basis. Just for your grace for me over the last several years that I've been privileged to lead this ministry. It's hard to put into words, what it means to work in a ministry like this and to be called into such an important work where lives are saved physically and also spiritually, and to see people come to an understanding of the value of life, of their own life, of their children's lives, and just the importance of that. And I know that is going to continue at Find Out Free, and that makes me so excited to know that, when we're in the center of God's will, that's the best place for us to be. And so that's where I'm excited to be, and I'm excited for the future of Find Out Free. And I hope that you all are as well. And so I just want to say with heartfelt gratitude, thank you so much. You haven't seen the last of me. I am going to be around and going to be continuing to support this ministry for sure. It obviously has a huge place in my heart. And just want to invite all of you as well to continue supporting. I know that times have changed and transition can be hard and can be uncertain. And it feels like for the last 2 years, all of our lives to some degree have been in a continued state of change. And that can just be difficult. But I know, and like I said, I'm excited for what God is doing. He's doing a new thing. And that's always exciting, and that's always good. And so, lately I've been reading in Ecclesiastes, and there's a beautiful verse in Ecclesiastes 3, verse 11 that says, God has made everything beautiful in its time. And that he's also set eternity in man's heart, and that we can't fathom all that he has done and will do from beginning to end. And I feel like that is such an encouraging verse for seasons of change, to know that God is making all of this beautiful, and he will continue to. And so, just again, thank you to the board for your sweet gift and just for your friendship and your encouragement towards me and support, as well as to the staff, volunteers, and everybody at home. God bless you guys. Thanks.
Thank you to Sarah, and good luck homeschooling kids. That's a tough gig. You're very brave. All right, I have another door prize I'd like to do. This time I'd like to present it to Ashley Swedberg. So I hope somebody's writing these names down that I read so you can give them out later, because we're going to need to put them on those bags. Ashley Swedberg and Katrina Howe. Those are the two I've named so far. Somebody write those down for me. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate that. And next I'd like to bring out our new interim executive director. I have a little bio here on her I'd like to say to you. Her name is Trish Winners, and that's a great name because she wants to make sure we're all winning here at Find Out Free. Right, Trish? Seriously, I had to use that as part of my spiel. After living overseas and in many different parts of the country with her parents, Trish attended Fountain Gate Bible College in Dallas, Texas, and then moved to Fairbanks permanently in 1985. Her 4 amazing kids were born here, and Trish has lived in Alaska ever since. After years of volunteer work, while a stay-at-home mom, then years in the business world as a single mom, Trish started out working as a bookkeeper for Find Out Free in the spring of 2020. In August of this year, at Sarah's request, she has been working as the interim executive director here at Find Out Free. So I've had the pleasure of meeting her this week and talking with her a little bit. She's very enthusiastic. She loves what she does. She loves God. She loves the path that she's on, and that's what it's all about. So I'd like to bring up our new interim executive director, Trish Winners, as she has a few things to say as well. Trish. Everybody clap.
Thank you. It's so funny when I started my small business and I was doing a little bit of bookkeeping and someone said, "Oh, Find Out Free needs somebody." So I was like, "Oh, okay, I can do that." And actually my business wasn't bookkeeping, but I had done some bookkeeping, so I was like, "Okay, I can do that." Enjoyed working with Sarah, enjoyed working with the staff, loved finding out more about what Find Out Free does. I'd heard of CareNet for years, but didn't really know what it had become, what Find Out Free had become, and how much more it does in the community, which was just amazing to me. So it was great to be on that side of things in the back. In the back room was a really comfortable place to be. So when Sarah said that she was stepping down and that maybe I would consider this position, I originally said, "Oh, I'll pray about it." And about 4 months went by, 5 months went by, and she came back to me and she said, "Would you at least consider the interim position?" So I was like, "I'll pray about it." But then I really felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt really good about coming. But once I was here and working with this amazing staff, and I'm going to ask you guys to please come up. Yes, and please, pretty please, will you come up? Not all the staff is here. We have staff in Ohio, Brittany. We've got Rachel, who's home with sick children. We've got Natalie, who's been doing the Maria's Boutique. But getting to be a part of this team has been so fun, so amazing. My husband says, "Wow, this is so different from any job you've had." You come home so excited, so stoked. And the work that these women do is just beyond amazing. So I just wanted to let you'll meet them on the virtual tour also. But Erin, Havana, Emily, Rachel, Natalie, and the other piece, of course, the other huge arm that's not here are all our volunteers who make such a giant difference. You'll get to see a few on the virtual tour, but we're just loving doing this, and I'm just loving getting to be with this team and work with them. So thank you.
Thank you, Trish. Just a couple of more things I'm going to do quickly because we want to get to our guest speaker tonight, a dynamic gentleman from Alabama, is my understanding. 2 more quick giveaways. So, Aaron, if you want to write these names down, I'm going to give one to Jeffrey Culley, C-U-L-L-E-Y. There's 3, right? Jordan Stewart, let's do that name. So that's 4. And I'll give away the 5th one, and then I'm going to give away the grand prize, the great big one, including the Narnia series, 19 discs. I'll fill up a whole weekend for you. Let's give that one to, Ellen Axmere. And she says, "Hi, Jim." All right, I know her. So we'll give it to Ellen Axmere. Hey, Ellen, say hi to Jen for me. All right, so let's go ahead and let's bring up a gentleman named Stephen Holland. I had to work on that name a couple of times, Stephen. I met him before we went on the air, and I think we became pretty fast friends in just a short amount of time. It's pretty interesting. I shared my story. He shared his. Stephen Holland is an author, a recording artist, a passionate worship leader, a motivational speaker, a national pro-life speaker, and a founder of Broken, Not Dead Ministries. Remember that. Broken, not dead. We can be broken, but we're not dead yet. I like that message a lot. Despite the brokenness that he has experienced in his life, he travels the country. He shares his message of hope and restoration for the broken, built on the gospel of Jesus Christ. With courageous inspiration, Stephen has been transformative as a speaker and a worship leader at a variety of events and venues around the country for over 20 years. He currently lives in Alabama with his wife Rachel and 3 beautiful daughters, and I worked on these names, Isabella, Eliana, and Cadence. All right? It's an honor, really an honor, to bring up our guest speaker for tonight who has an outstanding story. Please welcome Stephen Holland. Stephen.
All right. It's such an honor to be with you all tonight. For those that are watching online, I truly hate that we couldn't be in the same building and just feel that energy, but I hope that we can still make that happen tonight, as it's already happening. We've had laughs, tears, all kinds of stuff already, and I hope it continues. But just very quickly, I want to say something. Before I start sharing my story, this is what I want you to know. It's not about my story tonight, okay? I'm honored to be able to share my story with you, but the whole purpose is that we can come together and raise support for this beautiful, amazing organization that you all have here. And I'm going to tear up, just to be honest with you, because I've spent 2 days. I flew in yesterday morning, 1 a.m. in the morning. I haven't had much sleep. Maybe that's why I'm crying. But I'm just saying, I walk the halls, and I've spent time. Some of those boxes that you all have in your hands right now, I actually stuffed those, right? And I'm thankful that I got to be a part of that, because these ladies that you all just saw a second ago, they are pouring their hearts out every day on the front lines, trying to impact lives and save lives. And I just want you to know, as a community, you are blessed to have them, okay? Just in case you didn't know. So why do I have a right to stand on this platform and be in front of you this evening? And it really, for me, is I don't deserve it, but I'm thankful that I have life. I'm thankful that God has given me a life to share my story. So what is my story? When I was 8 years old, I had some friends of mine that at school, and I'll put air quotes around the friends part, because they looked at me and said, "Man, you were weird and different." And I'm like, okay, tell me something I don't know, right? But an 8-year-old child doesn't want to hear they're weird and different. And what they were saying is they said, "Do you not realize your entire family's white and you're not?" And I'm not lying to you. I look at my hand as an 8-year-old child, and it's the first time in my life I was like, they ain't lying, right? I'm brown. And I had a freak out moment, because I'm thinking, like, I just thought I had a tan all year round. I didn't know what was going on. So that was a moment in my life where if I'm being honest tonight, it's the first time in my life I really ever remember being broken, feeling broken. I don't like being called weird and different, right? So here I am as an 8-year-old, getting this news. So I come home from my mom. I just found out I'm the wrong color, right? So I'm sitting on the edge of the bed with my mom, and she pulls me in real close one night, and I just wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to talk about it, but I had one of those moms that was just nosy and in your business all the time. But really, it was love. After 39 years of life, I finally realized it was just love. Like, she loved me well. And she pulls me in, and she said, "What happened?" And I told her what happened that day. And then she pulls me in even closer, and she's like, "Son, I want to tell you something. But before I say this, I want you to know this. You're my son. You always have been, and you always will be." And I said, "Okay, Mom, now what? Why am I the wrong color?" She said, "Well, we brought you into our family when you were 7 days old. You were on the same bottle of formula you left the hospital with. You literally were on death's doorstep. So we brought you in, and literally all we know," and she paused for a second, and she walked over to my closet. In the top of my closet, there was a box, and inside this box, there's a 3-ring binder, a folder, that had 8 pages of typewriter paperwork in it from 1982. I was born March 31st, 1982. And it literally had my birth mom's name was Glenda Sue Holt, and it had other broken names in my family, which was kind of weird because they had different last names. And I always thought, that's weird, right? So aunts, uncles, grandparents. So what I'm actually receiving in that moment is actually a beautiful gift, but I didn't realize it was at that time. But also in there was 250 pages or so of journal entries where different family members, especially my mom, would handwrite. At first it started writing every day, journaling, and then it went like a week, and then they would go a couple months. And then y'all remember the Polaroids? You got to shake them. You know what I'm saying? They would do those pictures and stick them in there. So I still have all of that today. And it looks like parchment paper now, but you know what I'm saying? And some of the pictures have faded, but it's such a beautiful gift. So I received that at 8 years old. But if I'm being honest tonight, that's also the first time in my life I ever remember asking God, why? Why am I the wrong color? Why would a mother not want her son? And what I didn't realize is that would be a question I would carry for years. That was the start of it, right? But I also want to say this, because I'm a man of faith. You all heard I'm a worship leader, and I'm a minister, and I can't leave God out. In the middle of my brokenness, as an 8-year-old child, some months later, in the depths of my brokenness, I remember we were having a revival. Y'all ever had revivals around here? We were having a revival at church, and I didn't even wait for an altar call, right? I didn't wait for somebody to give me permission. I came running to an altar, and I said, Lord, I'm hurting, and I don't understand what's going on in my life. I don't understand, the color issue. I don't understand why my mom doesn't, why she wouldn't want me, but I know I need you. Because I tease all the time. I had a drug problem. I was drug in and drug out of every church service known to man, right? So I, my parents cleaned the church. So we were there even when they weren't having church, right? So I knew the name of Jesus, but I didn't have a relationship with him. But in the midst of my brokenness, I came running to him. So I started my journey with Christ then as an 8-year-old child. So I always say this, the greatest math equation known to man, Jesus plus nothing equals everything, right? But if we're being honest, that math equation's, it should be Jesus equals everything, but a lot of times we put something in that nothing spot. So for me, it was, the being called weird and different. So I started playing sports. I was earthquake and freight train, middle school and high school. I was 200 none of your business, and I'm still 200 none of your business, but I've been 200 none of business since 7th grade, right? But I'd hit you hard. I ran really fast. I played baseball, wrestled, played football. I had a scholarship offer to play. Now, look, I'm from Tennessee, y'all, Chattanooga originally, so I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm sorry. Y'all probably don't even care up here in Alaska. I don't know. But I'm just saying, right? Sports was my world. It was Jesus plus sports, right? It was Jesus plus relationships. Don't get me started there. Predominantly white community, and I'm the brown kid, right? So I need to say more in the South in the 80s. So I'm not saying my life didn't, Jesus was enough, but there were moments days where I felt like he wasn't. But I still had this longing is, okay, if Jesus is enough, why doesn't my mother want me? I had so many times in my life, I had that thought come up like a hole in my soul, right? So I go through middle school, go through high school. I walk onto a campus in Bristol, Tennessee. If any NASCAR fans out there, right, they got a track there. But it's right on the border of Virginia and Tennessee. And I actually was a youth ministry major. I played baseball in college, earned a scholarship and played. And I met the love of my life, who's been my wife for 15 years. I'm married up, y'all. She's 5'11", and I'm 5', none of your business. Like, you thought I did marry up in more ways than physical, but I'm talking about, she was a middle volleyball player from Tampa, Florida, right? And I actually liked her roommate, but it didn't work out. She was Brazilian. So, now look, it's okay. God had a bigger plan, and my forever was found. But here's the thing. We started talking about starting a family very early on and what that would look like. So we start dating. I'm going fast tonight. But we got married in June of 17th of 2006. Our first pregnancy, our 8-week-old baby, we lost. I was actually a youth pastor. I left her on a Sunday morning not feeling well, and I come home, and she said something happened. She passed our baby alone at home. So I'm a young husband, soon-to-be father, and we've lost our baby. Talk about being broken and asking God what? Why? Then we have a successful pregnancy, who's our 14-year-old today, Isabella. Then our 10-week-old third pregnancy, we lost another baby. We went in, no heartbeat was detected, and she had to go have a DNC, which is she had to go in and have a lifeless baby removed from the womb. You talk about hurting a dad in a different way. Now, obviously, mom is a big part, but that hit me in a different way. I had to sit in the waiting room, know what my wife was going through behind closed doors. And I went into depression. And I went into like, Lord, if I only knew my past. I didn't know. I still to this day don't know medical history. I didn't know my race until about 5 years ago. Now I literally am everything in the books. You know what I'm saying? I don't have enough time to share all of it. But we've lost 2 babies. I don't know any of my history. So now we're pregnant with our 4th pregnancy, Eliana, our 11-year-old. We also have an 8-year-old daughter now, Cadence. But let's go back to that 4th pregnancy, right? We've lost 2. This is number 4. In the middle of that pregnancy, the Holy Spirit spoke to my heart in a way I've never heard in a 975 square foot apartment in Tampa, Florida. And this is what I heard. He said, it's time. I'm like, Lord, I need more than that. Come on. He said, it's time to look for your mom. You know how many, 27 years of life. Like, why would my mom not want me? And God said, it's time. So, you remember that gift I got as an 8-year-old child? I dug it out of a box. And within 3 days of using that paperwork from 1982 and Google, I found a website for a man named Steve Holt. He's a magician and ventriloquist from Spartanburg, South Carolina. This man saws people in half, right? And he makes stuff disappear. And I'm like, flee, Satan. Like, why am I on this site? And all of a sudden, I'm reading his bio, and I'm looking at my paperwork in front of me, and every single name that's on that paperwork matches his bio online. And there's one specific name, Glenda Sue Holt, who happens to be his baby sister, who just happens to be the name of my birth mom. So I send this man an email, and I'm like, hey, I think I might be your long-lost nephew. Send, right? So I sent this email, because, I didn't know this guy, right? I didn't want to give him my details. But I send him an email, and his wife said he passed out, literally like fell out of his chair when he read this. And what's happening is at 27 years old, I'm meeting my birth uncle for the first time. He didn't even know I existed. The last time he ever thought of me was in my mom's womb. See, I flew up there and met him about a month later, and 2 men hugging and weeping and crying is a beautiful thing, but kind of weird too, right? I'm an honest guy, y'all, okay? So what he tells me is he said, your mom, my baby sister, was 18 years old and mentally challenged, and she was raped by 5 men. She was in a state mental facility. So this is state-run, no family, no job, no income, no means to provide for a baby. But this state-run facility found out months later when it started showing that she was pregnant, they started pressuring her to what? Abort. Because you don't have the resources, your circumstances, there's no way you can carry this child. Now, let me say, this 18-year-old was not really an 18-year-old because mentally she was only an 11-year-old, the capacity of an 11-year-old child. This woman said, you know what, the life that's inside of me is worth fighting for, so I'm going to run away from here, and I'm going to carry you homeless for the entire pregnancy, or majority of it. And my uncle, the last time that he saw her, she was pregnant with me. So this is now 27 years has gone by. The last time he had seen her was a 10-year gap from 82 to 92. So he never knew what happened to the child she was carrying. Then I was able to tell him, like, hey, I know this. Somehow she made it to this little town outside of Chattanooga called Whitwell, Tennessee. And if you're from there, it's Whitwell, okay? Don't ask me how you spell it. Don't ask me how you spell it. But the locals are Whitwell. But it's Whitwell, Tennessee. And she was 9 months pregnant, living in a cardboard box behind an old grocery store. And a 16-year-old boy named Bobby came to the back of the store and saw this box move, loaded her up, took her home to his family and said, hey, Mom, Dad, can we keep it? 18-year-old, 9-month pregnant woman. They said yes. 2 weeks later, they get us to the hospital. She gives birth to me. 7 days go by, and this 16-year-old boy loads me and my mom up in a car after his parents went to work against their wishes to save me because I was on the same bottle of formula I left the hospital with and literally dying. And he dropped me off at Human Services hoping that he made the right choice. So in my book that I've written, which we have, I think, 50 copies at the pregnancy center, and I've signed them all today, so they're $15. You can go pick one up. You better get there because they're first come, first serve, okay? But in my book, there's that young man, Bobby. He's 50-something years old in the book, and I got to hug this man and tell him thank you. He said, I powdered your ear in the first time for the week you were, I had you. I was like your dad for a week. But I thank God that he made the decision that he made because I probably wouldn't be here. And then you have this family, the Holland family, that had 4 kids of their own that had had a miscarriage 2 years prior, and God used that brokenness to open up their heart to start foster parenting, and they were longing for one more little boy. So 7 days old, they get a phone call. Hey, we got this little baby that probably won't make it. Would you take him? And they said yes. And I've been there for 39 years. They literally squeezed milk into my mouth. They saved me. Okay? Now, that's great, right? But there's more to the story. After I fly up there, talk to him, I meet him. This is what he said. He said, your mom's alive. Do you want to meet her? She's 5 hours south of where we stand today. Do you remember what the Holy Spirit spoke to me in Tampa, Florida in that apartment? It's time. And that's what I said. We got in a car the next day. We drove 5 hours, and I got to meet my hero, my mom, Glenda Sue Holt. So here's what I want to do for you all tonight. A little bit of my time, and then I'll come back. We'll close up. I'm going to give you an opportunity to meet my mom, my hero, Mama Glenda.
I love my sunshine, and I love my life, and I love all of y'all, and never forgive me. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed our magic show and our song and dance. All right.
We got a song.
And Stephen's going to sing for us.
I got a song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved
A wretch like me, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
I want to show y'all how good God is. Glenda, you stay right here. Come here. I wasn't going to do it this way, but we are. Glenda Sue. You know I love you.
I love you.
You have been through a whole lot. And you've been the best girl you could be for 46 years. And you had a little boy when you were about 18. And you missed that little boy. His name was Stevenson William, but he has a different last name. The family that you gave him to take care of him, their last name was Holland. So his name is Stevenson William Holland. And this is him. Good boy. Let me
I'm your real mama.
You are his real mama. And you've been the best mama you could be to me.
I'm so happy you made the choice that you did. I love you too. Yes, he does.
We have pictures for you. He brought pictures for you. He has made a scrapbook for you. And he has, in the scrapbook, he has pictures of him. Remember the picture you carried of the little boy? You thought was your son, but wasn't really your son. But now you have real baby pictures of him. And you have pictures of the Holland family, Mr. and Miss Holland, that raised him. He has a lot of family. And they love you. They've always loved you.
Son, I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I love you deeply in my heart. And I want to say I'm glad that you're here today. And Mama loves you, and I have from this first time that you was in my belly. I son to you, I read nursery rhymes to you, I remember all that. And this is your mama right here, and I love you, my son. And I want to show you something that I've learned. I love Jesus, and I want you to know that I love my family. And I know now I have a real big family that I can look forward to seeing.
Are you there? My hero, Mama Glenda. I think I could stand up here and say all the words in the world, but when you see her, now it's not about me, right? It's about this courageous woman that said the life that's inside of me is worth fighting for. And when I think about FYNDout, that's the same women walking through the doors every day. They may not have the same lack of mental ability, but it's still facing the same life-changing decision. And listen to me. We have a society right now that would say, you know what? Circumstances justify life. But I look at my life and I'm saying, so you're saying I wasn't worth it? Like, you know, so the rape of this mentally challenged woman that I wasn't worth it? I just can't believe that. Because she actually, my hero passed away on Thanksgiving night 2020 in a mental facility. She had been in a mental facility her entire adult life. But guess what? She's got to meet all 3 of her grandbabies that call her Gigi, Grandma Glenda. And they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this woman. And that's why I consider it an honor and a privilege to stand and lock arms with this beautiful organization that you were blessed to have. Because they're standing literally on the front lines fighting for me, right? This guy that stands before you, this 39-year-old bald-headed fluffy guy, right? Somebody fought for me. So what I want to say to you tonight, everybody that's listening, watching, is it worth the fight? So I'm asking you, you know, in your heart, I know you can't talk to me right now, but if it is worth the fight and you're shaking your head yes or verbally saying yes, or your group of people and you're saying amen, yes, well then what are we going to do about it? And I mean that in love, because this organization needs our support. It's a crazy, right, this pandemic, and we can't meet in person and all that, but I believe, I'm crazy enough to believe, and I've seen God work in incredible ways. I want to give you a thought. I saw this, I heard this statistic. There's nearly over 100,000 people right here in our area, in this area. I'm saying ours because I'm team now, right? There's over 100,000 people in this area right now, and that's over 70 churches. Okay? Y'all with me? So let me give you a thought. Miss Trish told me, with the staff, said, if we can get 500 people to give $50 a month, right? 500 people giving $50 a month, their entire operational expenses will be covered for the entire year. Over 100,000, or near close to 100,000 people here, and we only need 500 to give 50. Now listen, some of you may be watching like, I can't do 50. We'll do 25, you know? Do 5, do 10. I mean, we can keep going. Or maybe 1,000 people giving 25, right? I mean, we could keep going and giving different statistics. But what I'm asking you is, if it's worth it, I'm saying let's step up and give. All right? Y'all with me? Yeah. So how do we do that? I want to show you. So right now, there should be a link popping up on your screen. Do we have that up there, fellas? Okay, well, you should have a link right now on the screen that says findoutfree.com/donate. Okay, that's a really simple way to go on and do that right now. So listen, when you think about that, especially with an online giving, here's the thing. We can give a one-time gift, right, tonight, and that may be different than that ask I just made of being 500 people giving $50. I was saying monthly, because here's the thing. The lifeblood of any nonprofit, and I run one, right? Broken Not Dead, you heard about that. Broken Not Dead Ministries. The lifeblood of any nonprofit is monthly support. We have to have it. So this beautiful organization knows that they have the funds they need to carry on what God's called them to do month out, right? Week in, week out, month out. So but also that one-time gift tonight that you can give. So if you're giving online, you actually have to do it twice. You have to give once, set your number once, and then go back on it and set it up to give the monthly. And then the other thing is, if you got a box that we talked about already tonight, inside of that box there's going to be an envelope. And on that envelope, please clearly fill out the top of the card, the information there. You can set up that one time, the monthly, put in your amount. And then also at the bottom, just to make sure, I know you guys can read this, so I don't want to take a ton of time, but you can do that on your own. But you can do, with electronic funding, you can set up like a bill pay through your bank, or you can do a mailed check, or you can give by credit card, and you can put that information on the bottom of the card. But here's it, please put a signature on there, because that signature gives them permission to run the card, okay? Y'all with me? Now listen, I've done the best I could to be clear. There's also the QR code, which is in your box, and also there's one here at the bottom. It's going to be on your right-hand side if you're looking at it. But with that, if I wasn't clear on anything, if you have any questions, please put comments right now. You can comment and ask for help, or you can come into the pregnancy center and the staff will gladly help you with that. I want to leave you with one last thing. Is that okay? Leave you with one gift. I want to sing a song for you tonight as you're giving and thinking about and praying about giving. And the song is called You Are Not Alone, and I wrote this for my hero, Mama Glinda. She's 18 and all alone, just trying to make her way back home. So when they came and stole her innocence, now here she is expecting child, thinking it could be a while before she holds her baby in her arms. Oh child, you are not alone. Oh, you are not alone. We believe, child, you are not alone. He will hold you in his arms. He will hold you in his arms. I think we believe tonight that there's no child in this world that's alone. As I think about this beautiful organization, that's a fight that we can champion, that nobody's going to be alone as long as we're here. So through the pain and the tears, she conquered all her fears as she stood strong against all odds. While others stood amazed in awe, she defeated all the odds as she chose life for her baby boy. Oh child, you are not alone. Oh no, child, you are not alone. We believe, child, that you are not alone. He will hold you in his arms. He will hold you in his arms. Now listen. Now maybe you can't see it or even believe that he is working all things for your good. Now maybe you can't see it or even believe that he is working all things for your good. Oh yes, he is working all things for your good. Oh yes, he is. So child, you are not alone. Oh, you are not alone. We believe tonight that you are not alone. He will hold you in his arms.
just need a second, if you'll indulge me. Thank you, Stephen. It was great to meet you tonight and great to meet your beautiful mother, Gigi. Amazing. Thank you for that. It is worth it, folks. It's absolutely worth it. Life is worth it. You know that. And we would really appreciate your help. A couple of last things I'm going to do before we actually take a virtual tour of this outstanding facility. Behind me is this basket I told you about. All right, we're going to give that to Debbie Johnston, who is watching tonight. So let's write her name down and make sure that Debbie Johnston gets this basket. All the Narnia you can handle, Debbie. And if I might add, Stephen, fluffy guys rule. Sense of humor God gave me too. You know, there's a really important part I want to mention before we go to the virtual tour. When we talk about pregnancy and we talk about choices, let's don't forget a really important part of that, and that's dads. I'm a dad. I have 6 children. I love kids. Just found out yesterday I'm going to be a grandpa for the first time in March. I know. I can't wait. It's going to be worth it because life is worth it, and I can't wait for that. But fathers play an important role in choice, and it's really a pleasure that the Find Out Free Clinic is part of now what's called the Fatherhood Initiative. Let me tell you just a little bit about it. CareNet chose 10 pregnancy centers out of the 80 to 90 that applied. And Find Out Free was chosen as one of those 10 to receive a grant to start a pilot program for fatherhood. It's pretty amazing, which will become a model for 250 others. It's called the Fatherhood Initiative. The father of the child is the most influential person a pregnant mom talks with when deciding whether to choose life or not. The Fatherhood Initiative seeks to listen to men's concerns about being a dad, to equip them through proper implementation of the Dr. Dad program in local churches, and to provide mentorship, disciplining, and outreach to the men who come to the center, because men do visit the Find Out Center too. They're a huge part of that. And they usually come with their girlfriend or their wife. And it's going to be an excellent pilot program, and I hope that I can hear more about it, Trish. And I'd like to bring you up here because we do have a check to present to Find Out Free. So who do you want to come up? The board? That includes you too, Sarah? Come on. This is a check from CareNet to start the Fatherhood Initiative at Find Out Free for $17,000. And this is going to start this wonderful program. Yeah, you could all clap for that. And I'm going to give you that. It's not the usual big jumbo check, but she wouldn't be able to hold it anyway. No offense. I feel like Shaquille O'Neal standing here. Fatherhood is so important. And if any dads are out there, anybody's watching right now that might be expecting a child and you don't know what to do, you're welcome to call me at City Hall. You can reach me on Facebook. I talk to a lot of folks in the public. I'll tell you what it's like to be a dad. I'll tell you about the miracle of being a dad. And I've had a miscarriage too in my relationship. But I know that baby's with God. But I have 6 beautiful kids. And if you want to hear it from someone, and maybe not at the clinic, start with me and I'll take you over to Find Out Free. Use me as a conduit. Ask me questions. I'm happy to do it. But I want to express my love and support for all the board members, and to you too, Trish, and to you, Stephen, and to your mom, Gigi. Her memory is with us tonight, and to everybody watching. We're glad that you joined us tonight. And before we actually go take the virtual tour, please do what Stephen asked. Accept the challenge. You'd be surprised how much you spend on lattes if you just do a little bit of math. And I can say that, right, in my job. I have to watch my own budget. Life is worth it. You're all worth it. And everyone watching is worth it too. So I'm going to turn you over to a virtual tour, and we'll say goodnight from this section of our program, and God's blessings to all of you as you walk forward in Christ. Thank you.
Hello, Hello, welcome to FYNDout Free Pregnancy Center. I'm Erin, I'm the office manager here, and I'm going to give you a tour of what my role is at the center. Follow me. So this is the office, the front office, and here we handle all administrative tasks. So here you would find me checking in clients, scheduling clients for our parenting classes, our ultrasounds, and our pregnancy tests. I also handle baby care supplies, and I take care of the administrative tasks that we would need for the center to run on a day-to-day basis. So here you would find the baby care supplies. This is where I have my interaction with clients the most. Clients, as well as people from the community, come in to get essential baby care supplies for their little ones. Diapers, wipes, and formula are the three main items that we need constantly here at the center. If you would like to donate these items, it would be greatly appreciated, and you can do so on Amazon.com at FYNDout Free, that's FYNDout, Free Pregnancy Center. And you'll see all the items that we would need in order to satisfy our clients and help their little ones. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Rachel Nelson and I am the Client Services Manager at the FYNDout Free Pregnancy Center, and I'm excited to tell you about our Earn While You Learn program. So one of the things we get to do is offer free parenting classes and relationship classes to clients in the community who are interested in learning about how to be better parents or better partners in a relationship. And they get to use those classes to earn credits to come shop here at Maria's, which is where we are right now. One of the main things we hear from expecting parents is the stress that comes from the financial considerations of having a new baby. We don't have to buy any of the things here. People donate it from the community, and so we educate new parents, but we also get to alleviate some stress by offering an alternative way to purchase bigger items like car seats and cribs and breast pumps for families who want to breastfeed. While we are here in Maria's, I want to take this opportunity to let you guys know about a super incredible program that is here in Fairbanks. It's called Kids Closet Connection. And a lot of these items that are in the boutique today are donations from that. So what Kids Closet Connection is a multi-level community charity where parents with gently used items are able to consign those items to get money back for things that they have spent to clothe and raise their children. And then other parents get to shop at these events and buy items that would cost more new. So it's supporting families, which is really great. But the reason we mention them is they choose us to be their charity donation every year. So every time they have an event, a specific portion of the money that they raise gets to come to us, and we get to shop for our clients here.
Hi, I'm Emily Johnston. I'm a physician assistant, and I'm the medical supervisor and sonographer here at FYNDout Free Pregnancy Center. Our pregnancy test appointments include the administering of medical-grade urine pregnancy tests, followed by a one-on-one consultation with a member of our medical team. A take-home folder is constructed of medical handouts and resources tailored specifically to each woman's interests and needs. Providing obstetric ultrasounds allows us to take measurements of the baby to determine the gestational age and due date, measure the heartbeat to ensure it's in the correct range, and confirm that the baby is developing in the proper location. When a mom sees her baby on the ultrasound screen for the first time, it's often a very emotional moment. It's the first visual connection a mom makes with her baby. She can often see the baby's heart beating and the baby moving and wiggling around. Many moms comment that after the ultrasound, the pregnancy and the baby seem so much more real than just 2 lines on a pregnancy test. Prenatal vitamins are offered to pregnant moms in financial need thanks to a private grant from Vitamin Angels. It's our mission to ensure that all pregnant moms have access to prenatal vitamins so that they are getting the key nutrients they need to support the development of a healthy baby. Perinatal depression affects 10 to 20% of women in the United States during pregnancy, the postpartum period, or both. That's why we provide early depression screening for all of our pregnant clients, as well as education and resources about the signs and treatment options. We have recently launched instruction on the Marquette method of natural family planning that's available to our clients and to our community members. The Marquette method uses the latest medical technology to allow women to track their fertility through at-home testing of urinary hormones. Natural family planning gives women and couples the tools to practice a natural, biblical way of reproductive health monitoring. NFP is beneficial to couples who are seeking to space pregnancies or couples who are struggling with fertility. Breastfeeding and perimenopausal women also enjoy the benefits of natural family planning.
Hey everybody, I'm joined here by Christina and Katie, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience with FYNDout. So Christina, can you tell me a little bit about your first experience, how you came to FYNDout?
Yeah, I came here, I didn't have money to go to a doctor's appointment to get my pregnancy confirmed, so I came here and I'm really glad I did. It's been a huge blessing. I've really enjoyed your guys' support. But I got my pregnancy confirmed here, and yeah, I've just enjoyed everybody's company since.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the Earn While You Learn program has looked like for you?
Yeah, every class I did the homework and the chapter summaries and earned points to get clothes and accessories for Katie, and it's been really helpful when I didn't have money to buy clothes. And then it also got me formula and diapers for her, so it's been super helpful. I'm very appreciative of it.
Christina, if there is kind of a takeaway for people who are interested in the Earn While You Learn program or just in the program as a whole, do you have something you want to speak to that about?
I think that everybody that's either pregnant or has kids should take advantage of the program. I mean, you get wonderful support, you get items for your kids, and I don't see a reason not to. Anybody that I knew that was pregnant, I tried to advocate for it and get them in here because there's not any negatives about it. There's good support. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Cheryl Wood. She's one of our amazing advocate volunteers, and I just have a few questions for you, Cheryl. Can you tell me a little bit about the process you went to become an advocate and kind of how you feel you were called for that?
My whole adult life, I thought I was going to be a midwife when I grew up, and as I approached 50, I thought it was time to grow up. I had been a stay-at-home mom before that, and through twists and turns of life, it didn't actually happen that I became a midwife. But I had always felt strongly about being able to support women and babies, and so this really fills that niche for me. I feel like I get to bring my life experience to the table and support the women where they are, and I really enjoy the parenting classes, spending time with moms and babies. I enjoy the counseling part, the client advocacy, taking the women through the steps of, yes, you're pregnant, here's resources that, maybe able to support you through this, or mostly just offering friendship to them and a place that they can come and share what they're going through. Sometimes people are crying, sometimes people are crying for joy, so we get a really full range of emotions that we see in the women.
That's true. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey guys, I'm here with Christine, and she is another of our advocate volunteers, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience as an advocate volunteer.
So my husband and I, we truly have like an amazing adoption story. And I think that's where, God really worked in my heart to give me a heart for women who are pregnant and unsure, or maybe pregnant and unsure. So when my husband and I were going through, trying to have a child, At that same time, we were also going back to church. And at the same time that God was pulling us into this deeper relationship with Him and a saving relationship with Jesus, He brought this birth mom and a newborn baby into our lives. And, I saw that birth mom's, her strength, and I saw the love that she had for her child, and I was forever changed. And so that's why I wanted to be here. That's why I wanted to be part of this ministry.
What did the training look like for you to become an advocate volunteer?
So, the training was pretty awesome. The Compassion, Hope, and Help was really in-depth. It kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. One of my fears coming into the position was, I've never been pregnant. Like, who am I to be a client advocate for a woman who might be pregnant? And so the training was really good from that perspective. I learned a ton. I got a whole lot more comfortable with just the range of scenarios that you might come into. And then following the training, the shadowing was pretty amazing, to be able to come in a room with you as a client advocate and just be a fly on the wall and get to absorb, what the dynamic was, what our purpose was very, very helpful.
Yeah, can you speak to a little bit what it is like to actually be in the advocacy room, or what, for somebody who has never experienced what that situation looks like?
Mm-hmm. You'd think it'd be really nerve-wracking, and that's the way I went in. Like, I thought, I'm going to be like, white-knuckled and what is going on here? Because you don't know. You don't always know the situation before you go in. But honestly, it was just, there's a woman who wants answers, needs to know whether she's pregnant and needs to know her options and needs to figure out what she's going to do next.
For anybody watching who is interested in becoming a client advocate, what words would you have for them?
First, I would say don't write it off. If you're hesitant in any way, but kind of let yourself be immersed in the training and the shadowing and the center, just to see what goes on here and how it's done, and see where your comfort level is. It is such a privilege, honestly, to be in the room with these women who maybe don't know what their next decision is going to be. And so I think if women are hesitant, it's going to disappear when they see that dynamic and how they can have an impact on somebody. I would say, give it a chance, and see, where your comfort zone falls. There are so many ways to serve here. On a light day, it's just as much of a service to be making up folders or whatever needs to be done. So the center always keeps you busy.
Yes, it does. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Christine.
Yeah, thanks.